Hi everybody, it's the following week. Doing a little bit of measuring and tinkering on the camper project. So I've got the trailer around the back here at the moment. As you can see, I chopped off the part of the A-frame to lighten it up a little bit. All the rollers, taken off the centre, chopped the back cross member off to the desired length that I needed. I've made a few marks here where the twin axle setup's got to sit, so where my hangers are, my wheel centres and so forth. I think in last week's video I did say that I needed to take, I think it was about 220 millimeters out of the frame. Well, it's just a fraction more than that. It's 400 mil. I remeasured, as they say, measure twice, cut once, so I'm glad I remeasured. Not that it would have mattered, because I would have still been long. It's better to be long than be short, so I haven't done a hell of a lot today. I'm really bogged down with hay fever today, and it's just knocking me around a bit, so I'm going to keep going in the house every 10 minutes and then staying in there for half an hour till the symptoms subside, and then come out and try and do a little bit more, and it's on off. So anyway, what else? Got this axle and leaf spring arrangement advertised on Facebook Marketplace, so hopefully I can offload that, which will go towards buying something for this project. And got around to cutting the tub down as well during the week. So this was the third tub, or was actually the first tub that I bought, but this is going to be the seat for my deck. So did it turn out exactly the way I planned? Not exactly. I probably cut it in the wrong spot. I simply came off a cross member on the wrong side. So here, I've actually run my square off here to here. So this is in line, but I should have actually have gone to the end of the return, the end of the 90, so I should have actually ended up with about 50 mil more quarter panel here. It doesn't matter, it's neither here nor there, because I've still got to trim this up. And I pulled the bulkhead out of the tub, which was a nightmare, to be honest. As you can see, a lot of holes drilled in the side to get the spot welds out. Thought this panel was going to come off separate to this. It's best just to leave it all as one piece. So with this was a bit of a nightmare to get out as well. So I've done a rough cut through the tub. As you can see, there's some inner supports here, which is actually part of a bottom cross member. So I just have to work out what I actually need to put this into the back of that. So this slight mistake might turn out okay. So I just got to wait and see. I've never built one of these before, so I don't think anyone has, to be honest. I know they built trailers, but I don't know if they've ever built a seat out of one. So yeah, we just got to wait and see how it goes, and just play with that a little bit. What else? There's not much else to tell at the moment. All I've done is remove the LED lights that were on this back cross member. So I've got myself a spare set now. And yeah, it also turns out too that by having to take 400 mil out of the cross members rather than 220, these two front sections of the A-frame will actually meet further up the frame. So I'm actually going to it's going to end up shortening the length of the trailer by another additional 120 mil from my original calculations, which was to cut it off here. And at 220, these two sections would have met right on this line, right where this gusset is. But now, with it being 400, I've got to come up the rail, back up the rail 120 mil. So that's great. It shortens the length even more. So we're going to end up having shortened the trailer by 1720 mil, which is great. Okay, I've done a little bit more of a trim up on this thing now, so I'm starting to take off all these cross members and beads of weld. So I sort of stopped for now because I had a blade shatter. On me, and it sort of hit me in the shoulder here, and it sort of cut me open a bit. So I think that's telling me it's time to sort of put the grinder away for tonight. So I'll get stuck back into this tomorrow night, or maybe Thursday night actually. Thursday night, and we'll get all this cleaned up, get all the sides cleaned up, and then we'll look at cutting the 400 mil out of the cross members. As you can see, I've taken the that front section off, the gusseted what do you call it, buttressed area. So yeah, by bringing everything in 400 mil, these two pieces of tubing should actually should end up touching. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that all happen over the next couple of days. And what a difference, you know. This was a big massive trailer, and I've reduced the size of it by, well, as I said, nearly 1.8 meters off the front, and the width is going to be substantially smaller. It's 400 millimeters out of the cross members, but then you still had the outriggers here for the axles, so it's going to be a reasonably small chassis and trailer by the time everything's said and done, and that should make for really good towing. Be nice and light. Hi guys, 5th of December 2020, doing a little bit of work today on a couple of projects, trying to get some posts welded up for my best mate Paul for his carport. So he'll be over a bit later. I'm not committing to welding anything, because if he changes his mind again, I'm not going to re-weld him for a third time. So that's on the back burner for now. And this morning I decided to take out the sections that I needed to take out of the trailer to reduce the width of it. So I've taken out the 385. I've redone all my calculations, got under the Ranger tubs and measured 4 times, front and back cross members, and discovered that the actual mounting holes on the back are slightly then the width is narrower than the front ones. Obviously the chassis on the Ranger must kick out as it reaches the passenger cab. So but there's not much in it. I think it's 10 mil each side. It's a very, very small variation, but still I've decided to stick with the mounting holes on the back, which will simply give me more clearance under the wheel tubs. So if you can gain 20 mil overall, 20 mil's 20 mil. So that's all good. The one thing I need to do, and I had an idea that I would need to do this, is I've got to take a little bit more off the A-frame, but I just wanted to have small bites at this to try and get it correct, so that these 2 points here come together when they're closed up, and then all I have to do is just put a nice big plate across there, and that's done. I might even put a plate underneath as well, which I think is probably wise. But yeah, it's tiny now. It's very tiny. It's almost the size of a 6x4 in width. A lot longer, but it's sort of the impression it's giving me. So that big chunky boat trailer is no longer a big chunky boat trailer. So I've got to go and get some big flap discs for my 9-inch angle grinder, just to clean up all this bracketry that was cut off the sides. I've still got some plates here. They were extra braces for the outriggers. I'm going to just grind through those. When Paul's here, I'll get him to give me a hand to flip it over. We'll just grind the welds off and knock them off. Just makes it easier when it comes to cleanup time. But I'm very happy with the way it's turned out. Seems this what would have been the second rear cross member, because there was one across the back. This thing was full of water. There's obviously no drain plug or no drain hole put into it, and this was just full of sludge. I never heard anything sloshing around in there, but yeah, quite a lot drained out. It sort of helped with the cutting of it too, because it was cooling the blade as I was cutting. So yeah, it was a bonus. So this is the other side. As you can see, all the bracketry's been cut off. Just needs to be all cleaned up now. The beautiful thing is, as I mentioned in a couple of earlier videos, I get to retain these nice thick gussets where the angle of the trailer changes. I didn't want to touch those because they're so well done, all boxed in. So it's just going to be a matter of welding around that, and then just putting a plate on either side of it for a little bit more strength. And then, as you know, I've got my staggered cuts, which is how I wanted it to be. And yeah, so I'm happy with where we got to this morning, and I'll film a little bit more when I do a little bit more. Cheers. Hi everybody, it's the 19th of December 2020, and I've been doing a little bit of work on my camper trailer chassis today. So it is in one piece now. It's all been welded up. So it's welded at the tip of the A-frame. Still got to put a plate in there. We've welded through here, through this middle cross brace. I just have to put a plate on each side of it. Whether I need one or not, I don't really know, but just for peace of mind, I'm just going to weld a plate on each side of that. So we got this one welded up. We got the opposite one welded up. I've done actually triple welds on all the joins to make sure that this thing's not going anywhere. It's all nice and square. I had to pull it all in with ratchet straps, because it's, once you cut it, everything springs out. So it's all been pulled together nice and tight. Everything's square. The measurements are spot on. With the back cross member, I cut that down, and what I did is I stepped it, so I left a flat plate here to cover up the ends, but I've left the bottoms open for drainage, and that's come up really nice and clean on the back. For mounting the tubs onto the chassis, I had a look at a Ford Ranger this week. I was in traffic and I was looking at a Ford Ranger, that was sitting beside me with a tub on it, and took notice of how the tub bolts up to the chassis. And what they have is they have a bracket coming off the side of the chassis to fasten the tub to the frame. I didn't want to use chassis again because I said it too many times. So anyway, I've got these offcuts. These were brackets that were for the roller setup that ran down the center of the trailer. And I've set them underneath the tub, and it turns out that the holes are the exact size, and the holes sit out from my measurement of 1080, which is the width of the chassis. The holes are in exactly the right place. I just need to clean them up, obviously, because they were just hacked off, but they'll be nice. So obviously one, I don't know, I guess one will sort of sit here, one will sit here, there'll be another one at the back here, and then this up here gets a little bit funky because the tub actually comes to here. So I have to maybe make something that sits out here somewhere, something longer for the front, but I won't know until I got the tub on. The tub will be supported by the chassis, by the frame, so it's not like it's going to drop. It's just that I need to find a way to fix that back part of the tub onto the frame here. So I might, as I said, I might need to make something longer, but something like this, with a hole, simple hole in it, and that's it. So so all the front's been welded up. It's all nice. Turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. The welds were pretty good. I did a lot of cleanup today as well on it, where all the old bracketry came off. This side here was extremely bad. I still had a lot of brackets left on here that I just hacked through, and there was probably about 5 to 10 mil of offcut still on the side of the chassis. So all that got cleaned up today. Everything got cleaned up. I've got these right angle braces here, and you'll see there's one on the opposite side because I've cut the chassis on opposite sides. So I do like the idea of this reinforcement here. So I went through my scrap metal pile over here, everything that's come off the trailer, and I found a couple of these. They need a little bit of a clean up, but I only needed 2 of them, and I'll cut them down to the same size as what's on the trailer, and I'm going to weld them on to the trailer as well. So everything is reinforced on both sides. Yeah, just want to make sure that it's really really strong, really strong. What else can I tell you? Not much. I haven't really done much else on it, but it's good now because I'm going to need to get my 6x4 trailer out on Christmas Day, and with this sitting in 2 pieces, I couldn't do much with it. So welding it up today is great, because now all I have to do now is just flip it on its side, and it'll just stand on its side, and I can bring the 6x4 trailer out through here. So it's good. During the week I picked up one of these Space Saver rims to suit a Falcon. It's a 5-stud. I wanted this for my Studebaker pickup because I'm going to be really limited for room once the tub goes on. So this will basically slide under the floor in the tub. Surprisingly, I got it for an extremely good price. I got it for $20. These things are normally selling for between $60 to $80. but I got it for $20. It's never been used, it's brand new, so I'm wrapped with that. I'll leave it here now. Leave it here for now, guys, because there's really not much to tell you. I think the next couple of things that I'm going to do on the trailer is probably weld that plate across the A-frame here. I've ground it back, probably weld that plate across there and get the tow hitch mounted. That's a very simple job, 3 bolts and it's done. And then the next job will be actually to mount the springs, or the spring hangers. Now, whether I try and do it off measurements and hopefully get it right, you know, I can go that way about doing it, or what I can do is prop this chassis, this frame up really good so it doesn't move, because on these plastic milk crates, if I add any more weight to it, they're just going to cave in. So if I can get some bricks or something under the corners of the chassis, I can lift the tubs on to the chassis, and then I can get an exact measurement for the wheel centers, and I'll know exactly where I've got to put those hanger brackets for the leaf springs, which I think that's probably going to be the better way, because it'd be nothing worse in welding those hanger brackets on and then you drop your tubs on and then the back one's out by 20mm. It'd just be a nightmare. So I think the way to go is to get the tubs on here, and then we'll make our marks, we'll take the tubs off, we'll weld our hangers on, we'll weld our right angle support brackets under the sides that need it. And whilst those tubs are on as well, we can mark where we've got to put the mounting brackets. And yeah, when the tubs come off, we can weld all these things, all these accessories onto the frame and get it finalised. One other thing I might need to do is I might need to weld another cross member in here. I don't know whether I'm going to come from front to back or come from side to side, but I need to put a brace in there for the little spare wheel winch. That's because the spare wheel's going to hang in this area here, and I bought a new winch to suspend the spare wheel underneath the chassis. So I'm just not sure which way I'm going to go yet in regards to putting a cross member in, because the cross member on the Ford Ranger would have come off the chassis and not come off the tub. So I have to sort of do the same thing. I've got to come off the chassis, not the tub, because all it'll do is, if I put a bolt through the floor, it's probably going to buckle the floor with the weight. So we'll do it the right way, and we'll put something in there. I think at the moment I'm going to go from front to rear and keep it simple. And I've also I've got lots of offcuts from this chassis, but the less amount of pieces I've got to weld together to get the distance that I need, the better. So I think going from front to rear is going to give me less welds, and it'll work fine. So yeah, Merry Christmas everybody, and thanks for your support this year. Not many subscribers, 21 subscribers in 10 years, but you know, like I said, I do this for me. It's more of a storage library for my videos rather than putting it on my computer or my external hard drive. So, and yeah, if somebody gets something out of it, that's great. But yeah, thanks to those 21 people that have stuck with me throughout the year. I know I haven't really shot much in the way of footage this year, but whatever I've shot, I hope you got something out of it. Thank you. Bye.